Well, everybody, this week we're sponsored by Kobold Ninjas. When you need assassins willing to sneak around in full view of their enemies, think Kobold Ninjas.
Ooh, you're dead.
This is the Misdirected Mark Podcast, a podcast about gaming, game mastering, and entertaining you, our listeners. We are explicit, you have been warned, and I'd like to thank Mike Willard for letting us use his music on our show. Now let's pick up those mics and get on with this thing.
So welcome to the 486th episode of the Misdirected Mark Podcast. Tonight we discuss using support teams in your tabletop role-playing games. But first, my name is Jerry.
My name is Phil.
I am Chris. Villainous Chris, maybe.
And I am Old Man Logan. Good evening and welcome to the show.
We had a rousing discussion for like an hour about a whole bunch of stuff, which will be on the Patreon.
Yeah.
That's not after show. That's pre-show. Pre-show garbage that we talked about.
More accurately, about 40 minutes.
40 minutes.
We pre-gamed it.
Pre-gamed it.
Yes. All right, let's start off with our temperature check and see how everybody's feeling. I'm going to go left to right here. Jerry.
I'm much better than I was last week. I'm no longer positive for COVID.
Yay!
Yay! But
I'm much rejoicing.
It's been a very chaotic week, and I'm happy to be back to some normalcy again. So this is good. I'm feeling good. Bill,
Like a C+. Physically fine, mostly annoyed at work.
Stupid work. Do we want to go hit it with a baseball bat?
No, man, they pay me a lot of money. I'm just annoyed with them.
Oh, okay.
We'll work for money.
We'll work for money.
Do we want to go hit them with a wiffle bat?
No, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 15 more years. I'm just got to ride it out.
15 more years. Mm-hmm. Talking about the night shift.
Yeah.
That's
How about
me.
you?
I'm the night shift.
Yeah.
I'm fine. Although I just found out that after tomorrow, like I'm working in my building alone for the next 2 days, so that'll be interesting.
Is it spooky?
No, it's not spooky. I'm not. I mean, I'm connected to another building. There's the gym sports arena place.
Cool.
There's some squealing noise in the background. That's fine. That's just tires. I don't have my index card, but I think that the red car is going to win. What color do you think is going to win?
That's not. It's what segment is the hot rod going to come down the street?
We didn't
Or
do
the
it.
dirt bike.
Yeah.
It's too early. It happens so early.
No, I know. We got it next time. Next time we write it on index cards. And
Yes.
then we'll keep them face down. We'll see who wins.
We should do the odds too, because it's way less of an odd that it shows up during the temperature check.
Do you edit it out? Do people even know what we're talking about?
No, they have no idea what we're talking about. Every day that we do this, some car screeches down the road at some point, like a hot rod or a motorbike or something. I don't know why. It just happens.
Chris edits it out so you don't hear it, but we all hear it like out the window.
And we talk
you know,
about
I have access to extra nails. We can make some caltrops and put them out there.
No,
somewhere.
they're fine. I don't want to blow up.
Right,
everybody's
before we
tires.
blow the temperature
I'm
check
fine.
out farther.
I'm fine.
Chris is fine.
How are you, Bob?
I'm fine. I'm doing good. I'm on vacation right now, just puttering around doing shit around my
He is
condo.
darkened in the middle of the screen.
Yes.
I am staring over his shoulder, apparently.
Yeah, you are. I was just going to say that's weird.
I thought you said dockened for a second. I thought we were going to get some heavy metal or
Dockened?
something. Yeah.
That will bring us to our feature segment for tonight. So I'm going to queue up Phil for his
shit.
favorite
Hang on.
thing.
Okay, hang on.
Gird yourself.
Good, the loins.
Thanks for the
And-
heads up.
Begin.
Workshop. We're talking about support groups. You can't do this whole thing by yourself. You're going to need a crew of people. Who are they? Why are they going to be helpful? We're going to talk all about it here tonight in the workshop.
Don't
suck.
suck.
All right. Let's face it. Not every team of adventure is going to operate alone. So sometimes the heroes need a reliable group to call on again and again, help them in their missions. These recurring characters can assist the party by providing additional resources, healing, repairs, even some skills to get them a better chance of success. So tonight we're going to talk about how to use support teams in your tabletop role-playing games. From Oracle to Q Branch, the guy in the chair, whichever, support teams can provide a number of mechanical and role-playing benefits for your game. But before we jump into the workshop, we need some definitions.
And a book of definitions.
That we do.
Behold, you are in the presence of Definition Panda.
Various sources define support as to assist or help, to keep something going, one that supports, such as a support staff, kind of like tonight.
Mm-hmm.
We define team as a number of persons associated together in work or in activity. So for tonight's discussion, we will be using support team to refer to one or more NPCs who regularly help and assist the party in their adventures.
Let me provide you with some examples. This could include a solo hacker the party calls on for information each adventure, the temple staff who provides healing and magical assistance between missions, a starship crew who provide the mundane maintenance and upkeep of said starship, a coven of witches who give the party magical blessings and assists in translating the ancient texts of eldritch evils. The party's retired assassin, now Butler, who provides a cover story and keeps the base running while the heroes were out fighting crime. I'm pretty sure that's an Alfred Pennyworth reference.
Yes, it is.
And a group of tiny mercenaries from the Lollipop Guild who provide sweets, entertainment, or death as needed. Sometimes all three at the same time. Don't ask why they put that lollipop where they put it.
Pretty much any group that regularly helps the heroes.
I mean, everybody needs a calling card, right?
Yeah.
That's right. I like
It's
that.
not exactly a calling card.
Depends on where you stick it. All right. Well, let's face it, support teams can be a useful addition to role-playing games. Depending on your game, there may be skills or resources that the party lacks. There may be healing or repairs that are required during the game. There may be information the party's not normally able to access. And there's always a use for NPCs that are there for downtown activities. In addition, you can have other NPCs who are going to provide useful aid during the adventure. This group can be as large or as small as the GM wants, and they can be as detailed as needed. Anything from a few notes on a 3x5 card to a full-blown character sheet. In fact, many members of a support team can start just as a name and a role, and eventually become fully detailed characters in their own right as the PCs continue to interact with them.
So you need two things to make a support team memorable. Two things, specifically two things. First is a name. If you have a name, then they have an identity. This is a person with a name. The second one is an identifying characteristic. They could have some sort of weird personality quirk, a style of dress, a manner of speaking, something to set them apart from the other NPCs that the party deals with, like this lovely Southern Belle voice. It is not lovely, it is terrible. You could also table source those traits, and this provides several benefits, but I'm going to let Phil do those. Go, Phil.
Sure. So first of all, it takes some creative load off the GM's shoulders. Second, it allows players to create something that they find interesting and hopefully they'll have fun interacting with.
Mm-hmm.
And lastly, it's the love letter thing. It allows players to have a hand in world building, but also to kind of tell the GM what they want out of the support staff and kind of what they can do, the activities they do, etc. However, all of that said, a good support team is more than just a collection of NPCs.
That's very true.
Firstly, a good support team may provide a resource. Many support teams start as a way to provide a resource that the party's lacking. Some of the reasons include things like maybe just fewer players than normal, better character selection, maybe a larger variety of character options, or even a campaign design. When this occurs, it can be useful to have friendly, reliable NPCs to help. This also assists the players in making choices because they know that they have people that they can trust. If the party is a place they can get healed quickly, they're more likely to take risks.
It's true.
If they have a team that gets them reliable information, they're more likely to follow that information and take that hook.
Definitely.
Plus, it gives the PCs a group to get them the things that they want.
It is example time. Say we have a modern day campaign. The party is a collection of monster hunters, psionists, and witches who work to preserve their existence, the world's existence from eldritch horrors. Because they regularly go toe to tentacle with big monsters, they focus a lot of their abilities on talking to people and fighting things with said tentacles. This means that they lack that something when it comes to digital information gathering. In their first adventure, they helped a group of hackers/bloggers. The blogging is the front for this group of hackers. The hackers are the real deal. Now, when the party needs help with gaining information on a mission, needs to find out about the financial records of a suspected villain, or put out a spicy blog post about their newest collection of stories they write based on their adventures. I mean, it worked for Sherlock Holmes, right?
Mm-hmm.
The party has a group of people they can interact with and trust. It also allows the GM to dole out information that the party may have missed or give them a one-time resource without unbalancing the game. On top of that, the party has a source of information that they can trust.
That's a big thing.
Yep.
Another good thing that support teams can provide is mechanical effect.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on the game's rules, having a team use their specialties to assist you can provide some sort of mechanical advantage in the game. That's going to depend on the rules that you're using.
Mm-hmm.
But, look for wherever the help part comes from. Depending on your play style, you can achieve this through a simple discussion, such as just kicking it out to like a third-party description. I'm going to work with Mike and Trudy on the Sonic Accelerator to get that extra 1d6 into my die pool. Or you can do a full role-playing encounter and actually play out a scene where you are working with Mike and Trudy and you play out the whole scene of kind of how you're working together, ultimately culminating in that role, but having a little more role-play experience. Depending on your preference for role-playing, depending on where you are in the story, how much time you have for the evening, either one of these works. Just, use them interchangeably.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so here's a couple of examples of some sample mechanical effects. The first can be something simple like a bonus to a die pool or a bonus to a die roll during the interaction. For example, Reticular, Apple the Kobold, and I are working on crafting the gem. So I get to add +2 to my crafting checks during this scene. Next, you can have something that's a modification or a reroll on a check in the future. For example, Mama Garika takes special ingredients and makes everybody some churlish muffins. For the rest of the day, Everyone gets a reroll on failed poison saves.
But let's just say that it's not because those muffins were bad, it's because they were delicious and they just fortify you.
Mm-hmm.
Mama Greek is great.
Mama Greek is amazing.
She's good like that.
Next, we're going to have a mechanical action. For example, Badonka-Gonk, your quartermaster robot.
Can you say that again?
Badonka-Gonk.
That's a great name.
Thank you.
What does this robot look like?
It's a gonk.
Okay.
With a big back end.
Sure. All right.
Okay.
The big battery
Dragging
robots.
the back end.
My
on-
Badonkadonk brings all the robots to the yard. All the robots to the yard. All the robots to the yard.
I had to stop making milkshakes. It's just going to be that way. So. All right, back to Badonka-Gonk. He's a quartermaster robot. So if you allow Badonka-Gonk to spend time organizing everybody's gear and their harnesses, once during each adventure, each player can draw or retrieve a single small item as a free action. This is because the robot puts the item exactly where it would be most convenient to retrieve.
That's a really cool ability.
Yeah.
Thank you. Actually had that happen in one of the modules I wrote.
We did that in Character Cache.
Yeah, we have one of those abilities probably.
Don't you remember? I think John wrote the character with the big backpack, and one of his stunts was for
Yes.
a fate point. He
Yeah,
could
just
pull.
pull anything out.
Yeah,
That was my guy. I came up with the idea. John wrote him, and of course Matt drew him.
You
Yeah.
can go buy that. It's still for sale on Drive Through RPG.
And those things are never going to go out of date.
That's right. And lastly, you can have a modification to something that becomes useful. So Celia, the Were-Tiger mechanic, works on the team van while they're out adventuring. Now that van gets an additional acceleration bonus, which can be very useful in chases. Now the list can go on and on, but they don't have to be anything simple. They can be complicated, or they can just be a simple dice roll.
Sure.
Yep.
None of these suggestions are rule breaking. Your game may already have mechanics for this, but if they don't,
Mhm.
this is certainly a good list of things that you could house rule in.
So many of those things could be just slid into a Cortex Prime game.
So none of them groundbreaking. They all add a little something to make the support team useful that allows the players to take advantage of them, which is a good incentive, right? If your support team is just there for role playing, your players will interact with them. But if there's also a mechanical advantage, right? When every time we pair narrative and mechanics, it just gets better.
Mhm.
So that's what we really want. And what we're looking for here is to make it both of those
The
things.
peanut butter and chocolate of role-playing games.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
So another use for the support team is to help that GM reinforce the adventure. Having these NPCs mention concerns and information can help the players remember and focus on those important details. They can also provide snippets of history or setting and character. This is a slightly less clunky way to provide exposition, can help the GM clear up confusion or misunderstanding of information, and helps the players become more immersed in the setting. In addition, the GM and players can simply tie in one or more characters' backstories to the support team's origins. This gives the heroes an instant link to the support team and allows for the PCs to become more involved and more invested in both the team and the setting. Repeated interaction with the support team will also bring these background connections back into the game over and over again without having to force them into the plot.
For example, when creating the support team, GM Glenn realizes their Gothic steampunk campaign city is going to have a lot of details the players need to know. Glenn creates a team with an assistant, a steward, a researcher, and a gearhead who maintains the party steamship.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's a good support team.
I like
I mean-
a solid 4-person support team.
Yeah, it's fine. Gives Glenn a host of characters to play
Yes,
different
yes.
times. Whenever the heroes return to base for repairs, Glenn encourages the PCs to interact with the team, dropping campaign hooks into the conversation and giving clarifications to some of the clues that the party requires. I actually find that to be pretty useful. A lot of times players will wind up sitting on something and need clarification. That is Ox, by the way.
Yes.
Yes.
I know.
Ox often will ask questions like
Yep.
to help you guys a little.
When Ox isn't asking us questions about being sentient.
Yeah, well, that's actually the more fun part is
Yes.
what Ox is trying to figure you guys out. Anyway, in addition to add a little interest to the plot line, the researcher is actually the younger sister of Chris's inventor character. She's hiding in the base after being involved in a coup that stripped Chris's family of their noble lands. As Chris's background enemy turns up again and again, the sister will also get dragged into the plots.
There
So
you
it just
go.
adds that little extra hook to the game.
My poor sister.
Oh,
Causing
I-
me all sorts of trouble. I gotta take care of her, though. She's my sister.
I picture her as being kind of spunky and willful and
Of course.
often leading the
Yep.
adventure. Now, the next thing we can have are regular role-playing interaction. One advantage of the support team is they give the players a regular group of friendly NPCs to interact and roleplay with. These interactions can be a great way to change the story beats on a regular basis, because the player can have encounters with the support team as a type of downtime, or even as a framing mechanism between adventures. Players looking for NPCs to build relationships, and also hook into the support team for connections, romantic interludes, fiercely platonic friendships, friendly rivalries, family ties, and even sarcastic competitiveness. These can all be part of the interactions of a support team.
Don't sleep with the support team.
I mean, that's like
That's-
sleeping with people you work with.
Yeah, that's not a good
That's
idea.
just going to create messy drama.
Yeah, that's...
Oh,
wait.
wait. Totally sleep with the support team. That
That's-
creates messy drama. Don't do it in real life.
No. But a game,
Please
messy
do.
drama is excellent.
Please do it in your role-playing game.
Sure.
Yes.
You don't like messy drama in your role-playing
Oh, I
games?
like messy dramas in my role-playing game. I'm just, don't piss off the person who's packing your parachute.
That's why you...
That's why you don't sleep with Badonkagong.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You pull friggin' cord at 30,000 feet and your laundry
I know
comes
you
flying
say I
out.
can't sleep with
I didn't say you
Badonkagong,
can't. I
but
said you shouldn't. There's a
but
difference.
the dump truck that it's dragging along,
I know,
can't
right?
get it out of my mind.
It's just there.
It's got a high-end dumper, man.
Can't not
You know?
think about that.
Anyway,
that badonkadonk.
Move us
You're gonna
along.
go
We went there
That's
again.
it's gonna get really weird really quick. Just
Also, if the GM and players give the support team interesting quirks and personality traits, this is going to encourage the players to regularly engage with the team because they want to engage with those personality traits and quirks.
Makes sense.
this can also give the GM a regular set of NPCs to develop with the players. It's actually one of the best reasons.
Mm-hmm.
This is a good substitute for the GM who enjoys having characters that they get to play in a game without overshadowing the players themselves. It also gives them reoccurring
Yes.
NPCs.
Yes.
It's actually one of my favorite parts, again, when we go back to Ox. One of my favorite parts is that that character is always there.
Yep.
It's not, you meet a whole bunch of people on planets and then you never go back to those planets. Like, I never get to be those people again, but I always get to be Ox. And in a way, Ox is kind of a support team.
Ox is a support
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. The support team is also a great way for the GM to seed information to the players because the support team is a regular group who the PCs trust. They should.
We should
Unless
trust
you
them.
really have fucked something up.
Yeah.
They should trust the support team. So they're less likely to question information that comes from the support team. If
Yes.
the support team's like, oh, I think the next clue you need is over here,
Mhm.
it's a pretty good way to kind of push that
Yep.
item out
Yeah.
to your players.
You know, I don't think there's a thing for this in here anywhere, and I want to bring it up right now.
Sure.
What happens when you have a thing that you think is a support team, but it's not? Hence the town of Foot in the Airy Peaks. Those people were not a support team.
I don't think there was ever a time where I thought they were a support team.
Okay.
They were merchants.
Yes.
So there's a difference.
Mhm.
A support team, in most cases, is helping you out of generosity. There is nothing regarding generosity
nothing.
in the townspeople of Foot. They are there for coin
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
coin alone.
That was mostly a gathering of available resources.
Generosity or shared goals.
Sure,
Mhm.
Yes.
sure. Of which the people of Foot did not have.
No.
I
Did
think-
they
I think-
provide logistical support? Like,
Sure.
could we get potions?
Yes.
Could you get equipment? Yes. But were they a support team? Not in the least.
Okay.
I think that a good support team, and maybe it's not obvious in this discussion without saying so, has the well-being of the players as part of their makeup. They have a vested interest in seeing the characters succeed at their goals.
Yeah, a vested interest, right? Like,
Yes.
I don't know that their well-being is necessarily the thing. Like, I can see a support team being like, I'll give you all the stuff that you need if you can go destroy the evil overlord, but if you die in the process,
Is that a support
That's not-
team
I
or
don't
is
think
that
it's-
support?
That's
they're
support.
helping you.
Yeah, but I'm not sure there. But I think that support team in general, one of the things we talked about earlier on is that part of the makeup of a support team is a group that the players will end up trusting. We mentioned it multiple times in here, but I think that a good support
Oh,
team.
I'm not saying that person's not trustworthy. They just don't have the player's best interest, the character's best interest at heart.
So let's be clear. There is support and there are support teams. Somebody, an NPC who is neutral or even malevolent, can provide support. They are not a support team. A support team, I think it goes back to what Jerry was saying, is that there are not only aligned goals, but they have your well-being. Q has James Bond's well-being in mind, even though he's mostly annoyed with James Bond
Sure.
in various things.
Whenever push comes to shove, Q has always been trustworthy, and Q has gone out of their way to help Bond, often going above and beyond their role, and sometimes going actually against what their role was supposed to be to help Bond out.
No, I get what you're all saying.
Sure.
I'm just saying that there is no line for that for people who don't have the group's well-being.
So-
I think if they don't have the group's well-being in mind, they're not a support
I
team.
mean, they're not malicious or malevolent towards them. They just want to see their goals fulfilled, which could be the same as the group's. They'll help them and help them and help them, but like,
so now I think we're getting into sponsor.
Yep.
And then like a sponsor. So if we move away from sport team, a sponsor is a person who has some amount of money, influence, power, whatever, that they share with the players to advance their goals,
Mm-hmm.
the players' goals and probably their goals, right? The players want to be rich or powerful and they want to get stuff done. Like, I would never consider Lex Luthor or Dr. Doom a support team, but they certainly have provided support to heroes in the past.
I think for the purposes of what we're talking about here, I think the support team has to be reasonably trustworthy and be somebody that the players can rely on for support above and beyond. We're just giving them some coins. And if it's not that, they're probably not a support team.
Okay, so the blacksmith is like, yeah, I'll make you the best sword that I can potentially make, so you can go kill the
Hattori
Overlord.
Hanzo is not a support character in
cool.
Kill Bill.
Good, there we go.
Yeah.
All right, that's fine. Now,
They do have.
I'm making a clarification. That's fine.
No, I think
good.
it's a good
That's good.
clarification.
That's good.
But I don't. If you look at Kill Bill, Hattori Hanzo doesn't do anything else to help.
No, he just makes the sword.
He makes the sword because he's like, I'm with you in this purpose.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not a support team.
Not a
Good.
support team.
Now we all know.
Yeah.
Well, let's go back to an example based on the thing that we were talking about before. So in the GM's system hopping space opera campaign, the party is constantly jumping from planet to planet. They never stay in one system long enough to see NPCs more than once. Bob built his character with the thought that they would have a complicated romantic drama in the story. As the campaign continues, the GM and Bob decide that the support team's roboticist would make an interesting romantic foil. Is this Badonkadonk? No, that's the quartermaster.
No,
Can't be.
that's
Yes.
quartermaster.
No, that's unfortunate. Whenever the party is not on planet, the GM can set a scene with the crew member laced with potential romantic drama.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. One final recommendation for using support teams is as a source for additional temporary PCs.
I love that.
Yeah, this can be used a number of ways. If the game group has a visiting player, and we've talked about this many episodes ago about guest stars and stuff. If you have a visiting player and they don't have a character in your game already, you can let them pick up a support team member. You just upgrade the support team member to character status and let them run with it.
Mm-hmm. This can help solve a couple of issues. First, the support character may already have a character sheet or be simple enough to make one for them based on past adventures. Second, the support character already has a strong connection to the rest of the party. This can eliminate all those who is this and why are they in our adventure encounters that can slow down the guest star part of the games.
You seem trustworthy. Would you like to join our band?
Exactly. And third, having someone new play a member of the support team can add additional personality and interpersonal connections to that character, making them an even better part of the game.
Do you know I actually don't like letting people play my NPCs often in my role-playing games, especially
not
ones that I've been
surprised.
playing repeatedly?
Sure. I wouldn't let anyone come in and play Ox.
Yeah, right? Like, there's like 5 or 6 NPCs, and like, no, you can't play them.
And that's fair.
Sure.
You know, you can have a subset of NPCs and support people that are like, these guys are off limits for.
Whereas when I was
thing.
playing Pathfinder, the party's witch, Estlie, was often tagging along with the group when they went on adventures, and we had a varied group of players who just kind of come together at a game store. And so about once every month or two, we'd have an extra player that popped in, somebody's friend, whatever, wanted to sit in on a game. And they just always ended up playing Estlie. But we had a list of what personality traits she'd already had put together, and the players would slowly develop on that. So that worked very well.
That's fun.
And it was a recurring character. When they weren't there, then I would play Estlie, and then back and forth.
Also, as a GM, I would not heavily develop that character knowing that it's about to be the 8th chair, as opposed to another character where I've put a lot of work into and have kind of developed, going back to our Tales from the Loop game, would not have handed off for our game. Bob would not have handed Leah off to anyone else, which was Bob's girlfriend in the game. Leah had developed enough as a character that I was like, I will play this character.
Yeah.
You have to pick and choose it.
Yeah. But it's still a great idea.
That's up to your personal preference and game masters out there in the world and players. Sometimes it's tricky to give a player who maybe has never played the game before, like, here's this character with 7 traits.
Yeah.
Maybe not the best idea, but here's this character that is mostly a tabular ass with like 2 traits on there and like to give you some role playing hooks. Great for a new character, right?
Now, it also depends a little bit on who you've got coming in. For example, if we had a game where Bob's character was just beginning a romance with somebody and we had Schmitty visiting, I would totally give Schmitty that character to play.
Right? Like, because that's a person that you trust to play that character that way.
Yeah.
With everything, you're going to be a little bit give and take. You have to pick your roles.
spots.
As a little aside, when Senda came to visit us and guest starred in our game, not a support character, but played an NPC in the story. To keep things simple, Senda's stat block was 1 distinction, right? Greatest scientific mind on this planet. I think I actually gave her a couple of distinctions.
I saw the card. I remember.
Right. And then it was anything science related, D8, anything non-science related D6.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that was like the whole character.
Nice
It was-
and simple.
Yeah, nice and simple for a person who's coming in for the first time. Enough to make a die pool out of, and enough to just at a quick glance. Now, Senda was no slouch because she's playing another Cortex game I'm running, so she was okay. Like she knew what to do, but it was okay
Also-
for the role that she was playing to just give her the streamlined character.
Yeah.
Also, anytime you have Sen in a game, it's like a treat. Like,
Yes,
she's a top tier
She's great.
role player.
Yeah.
She makes action happen.
So remember, as we mentioned above, the support teams can be a ready source of replacements for the actual PCs too. Like somebody dies, well, you can play this person. Or, say somebody gets hurt. Like sometimes games have long recovery times. Band of Blades is such a game.
Yeah.
Or you go on a bender on your Vice and disappear.
That
for a
too.
couple
That
weeks.
happens. Yep. You could also have a scenario where somebody gets captured or incapacitated.
Mhm.
Having these extra support team characters out there is like, well, that person's gone, or you just instantly die. Play this person for a little while, and you can just keep being a part of the adventure. It's good stuff.
You can even take this one step further. The GM can run an entire side adventure where everyone plays a member of support team, or better known as the Lower Decks episode,
Yes.
right? Instead of their own characters.
Or you could just make a whole series about it.
They did later, but we'll give homage to the original Lower Decks episode.
It's a good episode.
Season 7. Yeah. It's a great adventure between missions. It is a great beat change. If you've been playing a lot of heavy stuff at the higher level and you want to take it down and just have that like little Lower Decks action. It could also be a difference in tone. So you could be playing a very serious high level fantasy game. And when you kick it to the support team, it's a more comedic game because the stakes are a lot lower for them. So they're like fumbling around doing stuff. You can make it a little funnier. Like again, beat change it up.
I do that with my campaigns. If I have enough players that can't show up for a game, I'm like, let's play a different game. We're still playing in the same world in the same campaign setting with something else happening.
Yep.
Yeah.
It showcases the setting.
Let me jump into this last
Sure.
last bit here. This is also a way for a player to take on a different kind of character for a week or two, kind of what we talked about before. Just because they want to change a pace, they want to experiment with a different set of skills, abilities. Again, it works great in those Forged in the Dark games where all of a sudden you overindulged in your vice and you got to go bye-bye for a couple sessions.
Yep.
It's a great time to pull another member of the crew
Mhm.
and just be like, you are now this character for a couple weeks.
Like, for example, another example.
Mhm.
Say there's 2 of the 5 players announced they can't play. It's an occult adventure incorporated game that I've been running. The GM had the adventure set up to be a conflict with the assistant BBEG. So they want all the players there for that encounter. I've seen that happen. But they don't want to cancel the game. So the group decides to play a session as the support team. Like, that's fun, right? This happens to be the alchemist, the librarian, and the auto mechanic who help the party. And they get involved in their own shenanigans as they track down a plot hook the party had to skip. It sounds like a fun time. And it also helps close off that loop that didn't get satisfyingly closed off.
Yep.
Even better if the outcome of that whole thing is that they bring back to the players something that conveys a mechanical advantage in their encounter with the assistant big bad guy.
Or tracking that down drops them into the encounter with the assistant big bad end guy in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Like, what are you all doing here?
Take this, right? They toss them some
It's
device.
dangerous out there. Take this with you.
With that example, we're concluding our discussion on using support teams in your tabletop role-playing games. So let's recap how they can be useful. First, they can provide a resource that the party needs, whether it be skills, abilities, information, or even equipment. Second, they can provide mechanical effect to the party. This can be a bonus to skill rolls, rerolls on future tests, or even a single-use action or ability. Third, they can reinforce the genre, setting, or story by providing regular information and setting details as part of their interactions. Fourth, they can provide a source for regular role-playing interactions with consistent, recurring characters that the PCs develop relationships with. Finally, they can provide a source for temporary PCs, whether they be to add a temporary player to the game or even as replacement characters for one-off missions.
That concludes our overview of support teams. We're going to jump into some questions, but first, hey, Bob.
Go to misdirectedmark.com and check out the list of other shows that we have, because I'm sure you will find one there that is going to speak to you in some way. We've got a wide variety of different things, and I think something there is going to grab you. We're going to go to the roundtable now, and we're going to have a bunch of questions. And question number 1 is, talk about a game where the GM had a good support team and why they were fun to play.
The Archmage's Legacy is the game that I'd like to talk about. It's one I'm running currently. The Archmage's Legacy has an adventuring company that is called the Crosswire Adventuring Company that has 20-ish members and a staff that runs the organization. And I just like having that variety of people I can pull on to insert into the game. It really gives me a great chance to play a variety of characters and provides a number of ways for the players to ask and receive help. In fact, a lot of their stuff that they do in between for downtime is facilitated by the support team of the Crossword Adventuring Company.
And I think we need to do that more. I think that as players, we don't interact with the Crossword Adventuring Company.
Well, you're kind of off doing something else right now.
I think that on our end, I think as players, we should be more active.
Sure,
in interacting
I agree.
with them. So, yep.
I'm going to share Bob, if you're willing to jump in, if you're okay with it. This answer of mine comes from a game that Bob's in, which is my Forbidden Lands game, which ran during the COVID times and before. And the players, so there's a mechanic in the game for creating a stronghold, and the players create a stronghold, and you need people. Typically, you hire them. That costs money. They didn't have a ton of money. So what they did was, as they encountered NPCs, they would just be like, hey, would you like a place to live and some freedom? Like, come, like, work for us. Like, if you would chop some wood or break some stone, we give you a free place to live. And I was like, okay, that's cool, because we don't have a lot of treasure in this game. I'll make that happen. So they began, everywhere they went, they picked up somebody.
They started a fiefdom, huh? With just like stragglers.
Yeah, like one time they went to this town and they couldn't afford to stay in the town. So they slept, they couldn't afford, or were hiding. I think they were hiding from somebody. They slept out in this like shanty town outside the city, and they met this guy who was really nice to them, like offered like to like let them use his fire or whatever, and they shared food or whatever. And the next time they went to the town, they were like, hey, why don't you just come back with us and come work at our keep? And like, you don't have to live in this shanty. You can just like, you can come and, you know, work, you can work the farm. I think he became a lumberjack or something.
Yeah, that particular character was basically scrounging every day just to survive on the outskirts of that city, going into the city and like looking for work daily and just really living a really pretty shit life. And we're like, hey, we'll give you some stability. You come live with us. We'll get a good roof over your head. And a lot of that kind of thing was very common, where people were in like a really bad situation, or somebody was like on the run or whatever. And we're like, hey, come up and hang out with us.
And so when they would go back to the stronghold, I had all these like really interesting characters that would come and talk to them and things like that, because they had collected all of them.
Yeah.
There was a couple that ran the inn that they accidentally found their wedding. They stumbled into the wedding when they stumbled into the hex and stayed for the wedding.
That's fun.
Yep.
And they were former adventurers. She was a orc. He was a human. Neither family was thrilled about them getting married. And the players were like, you know what? You don't have to live here.
Yeah. Just come live with us.
You could just, like, if you want to, we just built an inn. We need somebody to run it.
Yeah, you could stay down here and deal with the intolerance of both races and both sets of families and be like, you know, everybody here hates us.
And so the thing was, because I just want to clarify this, it wasn't because they were orc and human.
No.
The reason that no one on the husband side liked the woman was that the town he came from had very few men in it, and he had married somebody outside the town instead of adding to the town population.
Yeah.
So the townspeople were unhappy because it was like, we don't need you to bring another woman to this town. We're like flush with women. We need some men in this town, like, or we need you to stay in this town and
wait 15 to 25 years. We'll provide you with plenty of.
Yeah.
So they were like, cool, we're out of here. And they were former adventurers as well. Like, they settling down in a town wasn't quite their thing. Running an inn seemed more interesting.
Yeah.
Running an inn in a somewhat dangerous area was kind of more their speed. So anyway.
Well, when things went wrong, they just pick up their axe and their spell book and just murder some folks.
That happened.
See, I knew I was in the right genre there.
They were support. They weren't on the front lines, but there was a point where an evil army, like a patrol from an evil army, showed up, and the players were like,
and they all need to
everybody get in behind the walls.
Hands on deck. All hands on deck.
Yep.
We're going to do some murders.
Red alert.
They did. Anyway, Forbidden Lands, the collection of all of those people became the support team, and I thought it was pretty cool.
It was.
Jerry.
For me, it's actually the first module I got published, which was Little Black Book. The first part of that entire adventure involves the heroes meeting a bunch of NPCs and helping them while also learning the rules of the game. Later in the adventure and in the sequels to the adventure, the support characters can tag along with the heroes and give them help, assistance, mechanical advantages While that's not the character's name, that's the Badonkagonk character came from that.
But Donkagonk.
And even act as some backup PCs. In the early adventures, some of the traps can be avoided or made less dangerous because they've got these NPCs with them. If they use one of the trigger words, they can
just push them right onto the spikes
no.
and walk over them.
Yes.
No, but they've got things like this character is good at opening locks. This character is good at this sort of thing.
I've never wished more that were popular enough where somebody could do some fan art of Badonkagonk.
Right.
Never have.
You know what? You should
go
to one of those. You should go to one of those AI programs and just put in
robot
Gonk droid with big ass and just see what comes out.
I mean, Gonk. Yeah,
I'll do it later.
Yeah,
I'll do it later.
That's a thing.
This is just the kind of thing that you don't want to waste a good artist on and just let an AI come up with a Gonk droid with a big ass.
just not that crayon thing.
It's creepy, right?
I don't get it.
I like the other one. The other one's better.
I don't get it. Anyway, question number 2. What's the biggest challenge you have in running support teams?
Let's try that again.
I don't know why my phone keeps acting up. But question number 2. What is the biggest challenge you have when running support
It's
teams?
Villain Chris. Villain Chris is like hexing Jerry's phone.
Jerry's saying something to activate it. Boxcar.
Boxcar? So
Bob knows.
Freight car.
There it is.
9.
I'm so confused.
That's the
It's
activation.
the Winter Soldier
those are the
activation
winter
codes.
actors. Yeah. It took me a second to catch on. My bad. Phil, you were saying?
Yeah, challenges for running support teams. So I think that if you've got players that are on the road a lot and your support team isn't on the road, then that's tricky because you don't really get the support. So you either have to find a way to get them on the road with them, but also if they're on the road, the world, depending on where you're playing, can be a dangerous place. Yeah. And so now you're balancing I want the support team to travel with them, but I also don't want them to be eaten by whatever woodland encounter occurs, because they're going to be this pool of low hit point targets that now the players are going to have to spend a lot of time protecting.
Sounds like dead meat to me.
Yeah, it's tricky. It's not insurmountable, but it's one of those things that you just need to consider when you're setting up your support group for a game. If the situation of the game has the players traveling a lot, how much support does the support team get to give? And how do you balance that?
So are R2-3PO and BB-8 basically support characters for these movies?
Yes.
I mean, R2-D2 is actually the mastermind behind all of Star Wars.
Yes.
But that's
yes. You can make that argument. I'll listen to that argument. I don't agree with it, but I'll listen to it. It makes sense.
He makes all the important moves in the entire movie.
Saves a bunch of people too.
Yes,
I don't think his memory was wiped, is what I'm saying.
No, they specified very quickly. Yeah. Specifically, that wasn't.
All right.
But anyway,
so I'm gonna put my villain hat on. I don't have a challenge running support teams. Screw this. It's pretty easy. I would say the most challenging thing for people running support teams.
Oh, goodness.
is making sure they have a purpose both mechanically and fictionally. If they do not have both of those things, they need to get reworked or cut from the story. But it's not challenging. It's at least not for me.
Ugh. To validate Chris's point, despite his delivery.
It's so hard when it's right. It's so hard when it's right.
It goes to what we were saying at the top of the show when Jerry was talking about possible bonuses. If your game does not have a way to provide those bonuses, this is the perfect way to house rule them in. Mm-hmm. That list that Jerry had of the modifier, reroll, bonuses to a certain type of check, whatever. Mm-hmm. Those things are a great way to put those in. So look at that for your game. I don't think, you guys can correct me, I don't think 5e has any specific rules for taking on NPCs other than their NPCs.
Correct.
So you absolutely can just house rule a thing in that's cool. If the quartermaster sets up your gear before you head to the dungeon and then use that trait that Jerry had where you get you can get a free action to pull a certain item once during a session. Work it into what works best for the game.
Just modify the boons and banes rule that they have in there, the blessings rule that they have in there. You can just do that. There's a couple of things.
Right.
It's easy enough to put in there.
Yeah.
You don't have to over-engineer it.
No.
A little bonus matched with the narrative stuff is really the money.
Yep.
And I'll be honest, I think that in a lot of games, a simple one-time reroll is much easier than worrying about mechanical effects.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
My delivery made everybody in the Midwest vomit. You're welcome.
Yeah. I got a little queasy here.
That's all right.
Okay.
Jerry.
Villainous
right.
Chris.
So for me, it's basically just making sure their abilities don't detract from the heroes, unless that's what the players want. Sometimes you'll have a support character that the players none of us want to be cleric on a rope. None of us want to have this. None of us want to be the psionicist. None of us want to be the researcher, whatever. None of the players want to play that role. And so sometimes it does work. They just want to have this support character. Listen, when we have a trap, we need to have a box that needs to be unpicked. We have a box that needs to be unlocked. We just bring it back to this character and they open it up for us.
it could be unpicked if you want it to be unpicked.
This is also true.
In that case,
Yeah.
I will push the dice to the players.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yes.
I'm not your cure-all for the things that you don't want to do in the game. If nobody wants to play the hacker is a table NPC, which I will narratively act, but one of you is in charge of rolling for the hacker.
That is something that I have been doing with every game I run for years, which is almost any time if there's an NPC that I want the players to be invested in, I will almost always let the players roll the dice for that character.
Yep.
I just like when that character is like useful, and they're like, yeah, we like this guy. And I'm like, well, cool. This person is in danger fairly often because it's something that you care about, because they're useful to you and you probably like them because they've been useful to you.
Now save their life.
Don't fridge them.
Yeah.
Don't fridge them.
As long as that doesn't backfire.
You don't fridge them, you put them in danger and give them a chance to save them.
Yes.
Because then if they don't save them, they feel bad.
Yeah.
It's even better.
And you don't even have to have them like picked up by the Kobold Ninjas.
Yeah.
They could have a gambling debt that needs to be paid, and they're just in trouble and they need the hero's help.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
So they're like, you don't have to be like, somebody broke into your secure fortress and took out, your artificer or whatever. No, the artificer's got a gambling problem. He's gonna get his legs broken.
Yeah.
There are varying levels of trouble that the character can
Yeah.
get.
Just be creative.
Don't kill them.
Yeah, no.
Don't kill them.
You can threaten death with the soft move and then kill them with the hard move later. That's fine. But you have to soft move it first so they have a chance to react.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you also want to make sure, again, that you understand your players' motivations. I actually had a group where out of my 6 players, 2 of them wanted nothing to do with recurring NPCs ever.
Okay.
Like they actively fought about allowing any NPCs into the group.
Why?
Yeah. I don't know. And I watched them do this in the games I was running and also in games I was playing with them.
Just kick those people out of my group.
They
they
didn't mind interacting with NPCs.
dying over here.
So they didn't mind interacting with NPCs. They just didn't want them to come like a second time. Like they didn't want to have NPCs that came back. They didn't want, like, if an NPC was in danger.
They just wanted a variety.
Yep. And we actively had a situation where I was running the game where I put the other 4 players like I put a friendly NPC in danger, and the other 2 players what's in it for us?
Yeah, because there probably wasn't anything in it for them.
Exactly. Like if there wasn't a monetary reward for them or a skill reward, it's like we got other things. We've got other plots to follow.
Yeah. Do you still play with those people?
No.
No, not anymore.
Yeah, so Chris isn't exactly wrong.
Yeah, no.
The problem with villainous Chris is villainous Chris is not exactly wrong.
It's delivery.
As a GM, it frustrated the hell out of me because I like playing recurring NPCs, and I've played the opposite. I've had players in games where the players collect a menagerie of recurring NPCs. Often 25 or 30 of them.
All of my games are like that.
Yeah. And I just let them go and pick who they want. Those I have a great time with.
Yeah.
But this group was just, I had 2 players, and it was just like, one of them actively came out like in session 0. One of the things they said is, I don't want any NPCs that will be part of this group for more than one session.
Unpack that. I'd be like, we got to sit down and have a talk about this.
Yeah, that was strict.
What is
the question?
Like
why?
the needle on the record scratches, and I'm like, okay, lay down on the couch.
Let's
unpack this.
RPG therapy.
Yeah. I did ask that question of one of the 2, and they said that they feel that recurring NPCs take the focus away from the players, and that's something they're interested in.
That is a
show me on the dial where the NPC hurt you.
They had right. Show me on the dial where the game master hurt you, man.
This was the same group that would almost at least once a session I had to ask the players, what are you trying to do here? You're trying to get me to admit to something before you do it. Just do it. I'm not going to screw you on
Let
this.
me tell you what happened to that player.
Yes.
I'm going to make a prediction here.
Yes.
It's probably right.
Mm-hmm. I have a guess.
The GM had an NPC that did everything.
Yeah.
That the player,
it was
when in doubt, the GM's NPC was like, I've got this, stand back, players, and would jump in and crush a monster, pick a lock, dispel magic, whatever it was. And to that player, those kind of reoccurring NPCs just represent a constant threat to them doing cool things. So
Should we re-bust out the GMPC episode and just do it again?
Yeah.
I mean,
It's been years.
it's old.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
definitely could.
We
We
should
could
do the
redux.
GM. We should redux the
Yeah.
GMMPC
Yeah.
We
episode.
probably should.
Yeah. Well, I have thoughts on that too, but that's good. Anyway,
That I guarantee you is what happened to the trauma that happened to the
I'm
player.
guessing that's the same
That's
thing. I would
pretty
I'd
much
say
what
that
I
too.
would guess.
But yeah,
You can't have it happen if they're not allowed to stay in the game.
There
Yep.
you go.
that's
Yeah.
exactly it.
Jerry, exceptional topic. That was fun.
Well, thank
Good
you.
job.
It was good
Good
times.
times.
Thank you.
Good times.
All right.
Now we're gonna jump into the conversation corner.
I'm Phil. You might know me from other segments like the main segment or the
Pre-segment
temperature
or the after
definition thingy I'm sometimes known for.
Yeah.
Anyway, my one thing for tonight is the game of Minecraft. No surprise. I mean, it's filling a spot for me right now. It's I've been playing this mod pack, this Direwolf 118 mod pack. It's actually pretty good. It's got a lot of fun stuff in. I really like, in particular, this one magic pack that lets you build spells. So it's actually pretty cool. Like you learn these components and then you actually string them together to make spells with effects, which is like really unlike anything I've done in Minecraft before. I don't usually do magic. I'm pretty much the tech guy, but I'm really digging this. I'm really digging this magic mod called Ars Nouveau. So it's a lot of fun. Anyway, I've been playing it and it's just kind of giving me the dopamine hit. I'm not having fun at work right now. So because I'm not having fun at work, to feel productive, Minecraft often scratches that itch. I can go, I mine to craft.
And then you craft
To mine.
It sounds like something Jerry would
Did
invent.
Jerry write
Yes. Yeah. Did your dad write that? But anyway, it's been a lot of fun. And I really like this pack. And the cool part is the person who put it together has been doing a YouTube series. They're like up to like 106 episodes for just this pack.
Man.
And they it's great. Every couple of episodes, they dive into one mod and kind of progress through it so that you can kind of see everything about it. And it works out that not only is it entertaining, but it turns out to be a good instructional video. It turns out to be a good instructional video on how to do things.
Tim Hortons, that was almost Phil knocking his cup of coffee over.
I would have cried if my Tim Hortons coffee had tipped over.
I think we just product placement for free.
Jerry, what's your one thing?
My one thing is Sandman on Netflix.
I've only seen the first 2 episodes. I'm sad about that. I need to watch the rest of it.
Oh, I like Sandman. I'm excited about it. I enjoyed the whole series. The only one I haven't watched the bonus episode yet, which has one of my favorite stories in it, which is The Dream of 1,000 Cats.
That's a good one.
But I like the show. I think they cast it very, very well. They made some changes to the plot and the order, mostly the order of things. And then they changed some of the characters. I don't think any of the changes are bad. I think in a lot of cases they're improvements. There are some episodes, the episode where his big sister shows up, man, there's a couple of gut punches in that one that are wonderful.
And Neil Gaiman signed off on it, so like he helped write the show. So
Yeah, it's so well done. It's interesting. It's engaging. The main character is very complicated and not necessarily likable for the first, like they're the protagonist, but they're not necessarily a very likable character.
Oh man,
which is
Dream's a
interesting.
jerk.
Yeah. They get a little better, but if you've read that, and they're definitely setting up the stage for a couple of things. They did a really good job with some of the tertiary characters in there. And I'm enjoying it. I think it was very, very good. I'd say that if you enjoyed the books, you'll enjoy them. If you enjoy Neil Gaiman stuff in general, like Good Omens or Coraline or any of those, I think you'd enjoy Stardust. You'll enjoy Sandman, and tune in and watch it because they need to get enough people seeing this to get it renewed for another season. And I mean, there's 8 or 9 books or something like that.
It's not renewed yet?
No.
That's surprising.
It's very expensive.
It's
I know
very
it's very
expensive.
expensive.
It's very expensive. It's
And Netflix doesn't have any money.
Yeah, but it's worth. I'd say if you like
They
those
should
kind
put
of things,
commercials
it's-
in. That'll make it better. They should put commercials in.
But yeah, watch Sandman. It's a lot of fun.
There's things I shouldn't do on the internet.
Okay, Chris. What's your one
I
thing?
watched Ted Lasso for the second time, the whole thing, in like a week. It's so good.
I just started it last night. My wife got free Apple TV, and so I'm like, okay. I said I've wanted to watch this. I've seen snippets from it. I sat down and watched the first 6 episodes back to back.
Look, I was sitting at work, and it was lunch, and I was about to sit down and watch a soccer anime on my lunch break. And my coworker was like, "What you watching?" I'm like, "I'm watching the soccer. I'm about to start watching the soccer anime." He's like, "Man, they make an anime for everything. Like they make a TV show for anything." He's like, "Yeah, really?" I'm like, "Yeah, there's this show called Ted Lasso. Have you ever heard of it? He's like, no, what is it? It's a soccer show about an American Division II football coach that goes to England to coach a premier football team, footy team. And it's wonderful in a billion ways, which is why it gets nominated for a bazillion Emmys. And I guess season 3 is coming out in
sometime this year.
This year, like probably in the fall.
I'm so, I don't want to say anything to Jerry because I don't want to ruin it, but I'm sick to my stomach with knowing how the beginning of this thing's going to go down. Like, just like where the opposition and everything lies.
It's going to be amazing.
Yeah. But it's the show, and we've talked about it before, but because you started watching it, I went on a YouTube binge and just started watching clips of it again. And it's just, the whole thing is so well executed. The characters, even the understated characters.
Yeah.
Like,
the writing is top notch.
Keep your eye out. I believe it's the Dutchman.
Yes.
Like, not a character that gets a ton of time, but every time he's in a scene.
I don't think I've seen him yet.
There's a thing. He's in season 2. That's why.
Oh, is he only season 2?
He's only in season 2. Okay. There's a thing there's a thing that they set him up because he never lies that pays off in the last episode of the season. 100%.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is. There are times in that show that characters, like main characters, the thing that you don't expect, come out and state what's going to happen, and you're like, are they going to actually do that? And then they do it, and you're like, huh? Yeah. Because it's a sports show, right? It's a sports team show, so there's that piece of the storytelling is in there. All that overcoming and paying off the victories with the cathartic emotional moment.
And there's only about 3 to 5 minutes of actual football every episode.
Every now and then they go a little bit more,
and sometimes not even that.
But the thing about the show, which I think is really interesting, is very much like the character. It grows on you in a way that you do not expect.
Yes.
Like when everybody who meets Ted Lasso is like, "What's the deal with this guy?" And by the time they finish meeting him, they're like, "Oh, this guy's genuinely good." And that's what happens with the show. When you first start watching the show, you're like, I don't know, wasn't this like a bit on NBC News, like on NBC Sports or something? And then you watch and you're like, this show's amazing.
Yeah. Everybody thinks he's a buffoon, and he's not.
Yep. Everybody underestimates him.
Yes.
Out of the gate. And they learn. Don't underestimate him.
He is a buffoon, but not in the way that you think he is. Like, he's also brilliant.
Yes.
That's the thing that is wonderful about it. It's like, this guy's not a moron.
They're not,
but
people aren't curious enough about him.
Yeah. Oh, did you see that episode?
I've seen that clip. I know what's coming. That's the first clip I saw. Was somebody said you'd see this? Yeah. I'll just say there's an episode where he talks about being curious.
The Dart Game.
Yes.
That Dart Game.
Yes.
Good stuff.
That's the first thing I saw about the show.
One of the scenes I love, and I think you've seen it. If you're far enough in. Did you see the one where he goes to the Indian restaurant?
Yes.
Such a great.
Yes.
That's the third Ted Krim of the Independent. It's the third episode.
Ted Krim, the Independent.
There's a thing he says in that Dart episode, which is like episode 8 or 9 of that season. I think it's 8.
Yeah.
Where he's like, people aren't curious enough, but in there he goes, I played. If somebody who was curious would have said, "Do you play a lot of darts, Ted?" And he was like, "Yep, I do.
Yep.
Every Sunday afternoon with my dad from the age of 11 till 16."
Yeah.
And that's a thing.
Yeah.
Because you're like, what's going on there? Because
oh man. Anyway, no spoilers for Jerry.
No spoilers, but that's a thing. Like there's stuff that happens in season 1 that is getting paid off in season 2.
Has anyone found the recipe in real life for the biscuits?
People have tried.
Okay.
If you search the internet, people have biscuit recipes as they've attempted to.
That moment when you find out he's the one making the biscuits, you're like, oh, the cookies, sorry, biscuits in England, cookies in America. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's the joke I was telling Phil. I saw a post like 3 days ago that somebody said, in the UK, do all the computers have biscuits instead of cookies?
Right.
So, but yeah.
But yeah, it's a treat of a show. I can't wait till you watch the rest of it because it is.
And they do such a good job. Like he's not perfect.
No.
Right?
No,
like, he's got flaws that he needs to overcome and issues that he's got going on.
Yeah.
There are 2, I think they're in season 2. There are 2 extra episodes that weren't originally part of the ordered run.
Okay.
That they just wanted. One of them is a very strange
One of
episode.
them's got to be the Beard at Night.
Coach Beard's Night Out.
That Coach Beard's Night Out.
It's called Beard at Night.
Yeah.
I love
I
that
hate
episode.
that
The other one is the Christmas episode.
The Christmas episode is
Christmas episode is the best episode of the entire show.
Okay.
It is it is one of my favorite episodes.
Okay.
The Beard episode is an amazing episode that Bob doesn't like because he doesn't understand what fine art is.
It's a weird.
It's also the episode got nominated for best single episode of a comedy.
I'm halfway between both of you. It's not my favorite episode. I get what it's doing, but it's a bit outside of the rest of it, and I was kind of like,
It completely doesn't fit with the show.
I will
my
say,
opinion.
in a few more episodes,
It explains everything about Beard.
you will respond to you will get people's attention by going, "Oi!"
Yeah, right. He's playing Hercules. He's Hercules in the MCU.
The guy who
Spoilers.
Oh yeah, people haven't seen that movie. It's been like a month. It's been like 2 months.
Is that what
Not everybody goes out to the theater right now with the pandemic still
Look,
creeping
man,
on.
Thor: Love and Thunder is coming up.
It's in the trailer.
It's in the trailer.
No, it's not.
It's
So,
been talked about on the internet.
the guy who
constantly.
plays Roy Kent.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Roy Kent is Hercules.
Yes.
That's amusing.
Yeah.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Is he ripped enough to be?
We'll find out.
I mean, they can CG that on.
They
guys
can also
still gotta-
just tell him to work out.
I mean, kind of, but like I used to collect the comic. Like Hercules, big, like Hulk, like not Hulk big, but big. But I like
Hercules is
the.
cut.
All right, I'm gonna have to see. I'll see it when it comes. I'll see it
2
when it
months
comes to
ago.
You want to talk about big people? You guys have to watch the Jack Reacher TV. Jack
That
Reacher
dude's
TV show.
huge.
He's like
Okay.
6'8" or something, right?
That
He's
show
like,
is
We're
amazing.
done. We're done. We're moving on.
Get us outta here.
Before Bob Dad
Get us-
decides to turn around like
All right.
hard.
So for my one thing,
there we go.
There we go.
Oh,
Do we
finally
buy you
got
enough
one?
time?
Yeah.
Jerry prodded me a little bit, and I said, "This isn't something that normally I'm like super excited about. It's one of those mixed bags." We had our fantasy football draft for the Misdirected Mark Fantasy Football League this past Wednesday,
Yes.
and fantasy football is my nemesis. I love playing fantasy football, but I fucking hate playing fantasy football because fantasy football fucks me every
He has such a high tolerance. I did this for a few years and was like, "Fuck it, I'm out of here." Like,
I felt like I came out of the draft with a
good time.
decent.
I know you love
You know,
it. Like,
I thought I did okay, and the Yahoo system graded me at a good flat C.
hey, that's not bad. Your
Yeah,
which
original
isn't
practice draft was an
My
F.
practice draft was an
Yeah,
F.
name minus.
But it's interesting.
I hate my team.
You know, it's one of those things. You sit there and you go through and you're like, oh, this guy's going to be good, and I think this guy's going to be in da 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 da, and like one of my true starting running backs, I find out is like, oh, he's probably not going to be ready to start the season. Like, oh, okay,
about
that's
right.
great. And then one of my other starting running backs, oh, he's probably not going to be ready to start the season.
I got
Like,
3.
really?
You want one? I'll trade you.
I mean,
Bob has the worst week 1 luck in
Oh,
fantasy football history. Although
and yet sometimes that turns into great fortune.
he still holds my favorite week 1 folly, like falling into
Yeah.
like greatness one year.
What do you do?
I had as my starting quarterback, my QB1 for my entire team was Vinny Testaverde of the New York Jets.
Oh, he had a great year that year. I know.
No,
he
he
didn't.
didn't.
Oh,
No, he
Because
didn't.
he came out in week 1 and he flopped on the ground with a torn Achilles.
Then who'd you get?
I
Little
picked up
unknown player?
this kid named Kurt Warner for St. Louis.
Oh, that
who-
year, 99.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, this Kurt Warner looks like he's doing pretty good. I'll pick him up.
The
And
numbers.
then I rode him like a pony
Wait,
for
was
the
that,
rest.
did you pick him up after week 1 or before week 1?
After. I
Because-
picked him up to replace
Because
Vinny
you realize
Vinny went down.
that first week, he threw 3 touchdowns
Yeah.
against the Baltimore Ravens
Yeah.
when they had Ray Lewis.
And
Like,
then
Super Bowl Baltimore Ravens.
and then the numbers that Warner put up.
Oh my, it's the greatest show on turf.
It was
Sadly, I did not win the league that year. But
no, but didn't you also pick up his number 1 receiver
Yeah,
like
I had Isaac
mid-season or
Bruce
something?
too. There's no way you had Isaac
No,
Bruce. You have
no,
Torrey Holt?
it was either the year before
I was
that or
Torrey
the
Holt.
year after that. I had a receiver go down in week 1,
Yeah,
and I grabbed as his replacement Randy Moss
Oh, well, there you go.
in
Well,
Randy Moss's rookie year when he was like,
Yeah.
"Hi, I'm the greatest rookie receiver ever to play the game at the time." You know, so yeah, that's every once in a while I step in it.
Mind you,
greatest show on
mind
turf.
you, Bob's been playing fantasy football since when he ran it off his PC from a service that
Dude.
he bought.
Dude, we've been playing fantasy football since you had to like get the paper and
Oh,
do
no
it-
way.
do it by hand.
I had friends in college who were
Yeah.
playing fantasy baseball like
Oh,
that.
no.
And I
I
was
did
like,
that.
I've
oh, that's
talked about this.
masochistic.
Yep.
My friend Mark Morfitt, the Morph, when I was in college, he had a composition notebook that he had every year. And he had, every team had 4 pages, and he would have offense and defense. And he would have, each player had a line with all their information.
Sure.
And then a section of notes for every single team in the game.
I know those people.
And he would go through every week and he would go through the newspaper and change the stats and everything.
Oh.
And would have this all figured out. He wasn't playing fantasy football. He just had all this information. He knew it was great to watch any game with him because you'd sit down. He's like, okay, this is going to be interesting because this guy on the offense was roommates with this guy on the defense. And so they're good friends or they're enemies or whatever.
Did he have time to go to class? Like, did he attend class?
I bet he works for like PFF these days or somebody.
No,
Football Fantasy or something.
No, he's last I know, he went back into the Air Force and he was the crew chief for electronic countermeasures on the planes on the big planes that go up and do all the
that he probably shouldn't be telling
planes.
you about.
That he could tell us about. He was the guy that the planes that go up with the big radar dish on top.
Oh, the AWAC.
Yeah, the AWAC. Yeah. Basically, his job was basically go out in the morning, go over the plane from front to back, and then it would leave, and he just had to sit in the hangar for 5 hours till it came back. Yeah. And then we came back to the same thing again, and that was his job.
We should probably.
Bob, why don't you lead us out of this long, wonderful, rambling, misdirected?
Yes, I am actually going to do that.
Well, thanks to everybody for listening.
If you like video content, and I know you do, I've seen your search history. If you like video content,
that's creepy, by the way.
All right,
Big brother up.
Fine,
in here.
I'll change it.
No, it's cool. Let's go in there now.
Too late now.
Yeah.
If you like video content, check us out on the YouTubes, where the main segment from this show shows up, as well as other stuff that we do when we're sitting around with cameras on, chatting with each other, talking nerd stuff about gaming and other nerd stuff.
Yep.
So check us out. And if you are so inclined, like it, subscribe it, so that you can get more content or let us tell you when we're putting up more content there. So do that.
Also, just listen to us on your podcatchers. We prefer you to listen to us on Spotify, but wherever. That's fine.
Where you like to get
Spotify pays us, that's why.
We like Spotify, so if you have Spotify, listen to us on Spotify.
Yes.
Yeah,
listen to us on
we
Spotify.
like to get paid.
Yes.
Yeah, we like to get paid.
All right, somebody do another part.
All right. So if you can't make it,
Sorry.
And I wrote this part. God damn it. All right. Anyway, check out our podcast each week wherever you get your podcasts.
Spotify.
And then while you're there, this is some of the other shows of Misdirected Mark Network, such as They're a Super Geek, Mastering Dungeons, Bone Store Obsidian, Panda's Talking Games, The Gnome Cast, Bonus Experience, and the amazing back episodes of She's a Super Geek. While you're there, you should also check out our sibling podcasts, Tabletop Bellhop, Hi Mo, Knights of the Night, and the all-new GM Mastermind.
Good old SP Kelly.
Yeah.
Yep.
After you arrive back at base and before you dump your gear on your poor support crew to clean up and fix everything,
I hate that.
leave us some feedback. You can reach us directly via the old-fashioned emails, mmp@misdirectedmark.com. You can hit us up on the Twitters. The show and the network is at MisdirectedMark. This is Robert M. Everson. This is The Light 101.
Where you can get your smooth jazz.
GM Gerrymander.
Woohoo!
And that leaves me, DNA Phil.
By the way, this is still radio, so they didn't see any of that.
I know. I might just clip it for that fun part.
Okay. Hey, you remember that Patreon we talked about? You should go to patreon.com/MMP and check it out. You can get our show notes for the YouTube pieces. You can get some musical parodies when we do them. Potentially. Hopefully we'll do one again. We got a bunch of
after show, extra stuff,
definitely
pre-show.
after show.
Bonus
after
material.
show is a thing.
There's got to be some junk that we're cutting out of this episode.
There's always some junk.
Yeah.
So you'll find some goodies in there.
I don't know if we should be talking about cutting junk. That's weird.
I mean, mine was snipped.
That's fair.
All right, that's a whole different topic. So why don't you roll us out of here?
Well, this has been a Misdirected Mark production, which we're just going to keep talking over each other. It's great. The media arm of Encoded Designs. Mic drop.
We're out!
Another broken mic.